Hi guys, this is Robert Rivera with Trend Trading Academy, and this is the weekly recap. I think this is weekly recap number 22, time of the week when I review last week's trades and also project into what may be coming up next week with a few pairs that we do use consistently. So let's go right into it. Let's see, let me share the screen. I'll share this screen and we'll go from there. This is the first setup of the week. This was on Sunday night or Monday morning. And as often, we see the drop from the previous, let me see, this is the weekly? No, this is the hourly. We see the drop from the night before, from the day before, and now we see it transitioning into consolidation. This right here is the trend line from the weekly. So that's a big, powerful trend line. We know that once it climbs there, it may keep going, but we shall see. It does have some resistance to the top. Let's see what happened. All right. This is what we ended up with. Let me open it up so you guys can see a little better. Sure enough, it broke to the top, went over the 50. That would have been a good entry if you didn't enter here at the breakout. Broke out, retested right at the top, and went on for 87 pips. Okay. It's not the preferred retest that we like to see, it going all the way down deep inside. But again, it is a retest, okay? It is a retest of the zone. It is a retest of the R1, which was right there. And it jumped up all the way back to R2. Nice little win there to start the week. Then during class the following day, I gave you guys this one. This was GA. And we see GA, and again, this was kind of early in the evening. How can I say? It's not a trade that I would usually take because it's early in the evening, it's during class, but we have noticed that it breaks out consistently during class. We've had consistent trade setup that I set up during class that break out. And so I went ahead and prepared this one and posted it in the community. And this is the result. It broke down to the bottom. That doesn't look like a lot, man, but that is 85 pips. And this down here is not a golden zone. This was a zone that Gia pointed out to from the daily. And sure enough, it came right down to it, to the very bottom of it, and then went back up. It retested for 71 pips on that retest, which again, it was beautiful. I mean, it was very easy to take. Break, retest, drop. Okay, either one of those you could have won. Then on the same day, I set up GU, which, as I was pointing out to Angelo, this was very tight. This was very tight. If you notice, that is only 7 pips. That is only 7 pips. So a breakout out of there is imminent. Something is going to happen, and it's going to happen soon. And sure enough, it did happen, I think, in an hour or so, it developed. Yeah, this is the one. 7 pips right there, broke down to the bottom, gave us 31 pips on the breakout, no retest. I guess it broke out. It broke out from the inside of the zone, right? And it retested there, but there was no retest after the zone, which is what we look for, okay? But still, for breakouts, they got 31 pips on that one. Then once it broke to the top, we did get a nice retest over here. Where is the retest? Let me see. What is this? This is the 30-minute. Let me see. What is the breakout here? Breakout, retest. This dropped down a little bit. Oh, I see it. Yeah, put 0 drawdown because there's no retest here. Okay? You're waiting for these wicks, and there's a wick. And the wick came all the way up to the top over here before it continues. So there should not be any drawdown on that. I guess at worst, there was a 9 pip drawdown there. Okay, let's call it a 9 pip drawdown just in case, all right? But really, it shouldn't have been because we're waiting for that wick, and there's the wick, and there it went, 74 pips. And then coming back down, it broke the trend line again. This should not have been a surprise for us, right? Because we have a double top going on right here, and we have a golden zone. It almost hit the 61.8 and dropped for 64 pips. That was another nice win, and this was also during class. All right, then on the 17th, I sent this one out, and we took notice of a channel that it was in, okay, with a golden zone below it. I believe this golden zone is from down here to up here, swing low to swing high, all right? And again, we're just waiting for a breakout either way. I do like this setup. This was a very nice one, very pretty, very clean, okay? And this is what we ended up with. We took a break to the top with a retest, perhaps 0 to 4 pip drawdown, depending on when you entered for the retest in here. And it went for 44 pips when it reached the top. Then it broke the trend line and dropped for 55 pips to the golden zone. Again, almost to the 61.8 before it proceeded to go back up. That was on the 17th. On the 18th, this is what we got. Same channel, right? It's still working within the channel. Channel still working. New zones. Because the client, well, actually, may be the same zone. I'm not sure. I didn't review it to see if it was the same zone because it came back into what perhaps what we had before. But in this case, we have it again trapped in the zones. We're watching it, perhaps messing around with this trend line. When I sent it out, it was already breaking the trend line, but it was still within the zone. So it's something to keep an eye on that it could bounce to the top. Let's see what happened. I don't really remember what happened. What happened? It bounced up from there, went to the top of the zone. It didn't break out. Okay, this is the one. This is the last one of the week where it didn't break out during the night. It broke out in the morning, and it broke the trend line. It retested the trend line and dropped. Okay, it was 54 pips if you took it from the trend line, and it was 32 pips if you took it from the zone. Okay, that was a nice little win. Let me pause here because I need to find my results. I had them just a minute ago, and now I don't know where they are. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. So that gave us, let's go ahead. Where are we? That gave us a total of 442 pips. All right, that translates into 49 pips per trade. Let's say we added those 9 pips before that I hadn't counted before. So that's 17 pip drawdown total and 80 pips, 88 pips per setup. I mean, that another beautiful week. And again, we're averaging about 50 pips per trade. If we get consistent wins every single week. All right, let me go ahead and close those out. Let me go ahead and open this right here. All right. So let's go into the projections for next week. Let's go into, let's see, GBP USD to begin with. We noticed that it is in a channel, in a descending channel, but it broke, well, it originally broke above the descending channel. And this trend line here is from 2014. It had broken above and now it broke below and now it retested it. All right. It is above the 50 moving average on the weekly. All right, but it is below the 200, right, which is a powerful for swings. It's one of the main ones that is considered. All right, and it rejected from there. So this is going to be interesting to see what happens. We do have a nice little wedge going on here, right? It's right at the tip of that wedge, right at the tip of that wedge. All right, so anything can happen from here. It can break to the bottom, it can break to the top, but I'm just pointing out that it is at a critical spot, especially since it didn't break out on Friday until late. It's very likely that orders have accumulated, quite a bit of orders have accumulated here, getting ready for a move, again, to the up or to the downside. Let's go into GN, GBP NCD. We've been watching this channel for quite a long time. I've been speaking about this recently also because of the action that's happening right now. As I mentioned last week, what I wanted to see it was break below the trend line and bounce from here, right? And it did do that. It did do that. It bounced from there, but it closed below the trend line. Okay, it closed below the trend line. What I'm gonna wait for on GN, if I'm gonna take a swing, which I've been wanting to catch this swing for a long time, but if I'm gonna catch a swing here, I'm gonna wait for a bounce from here and a close above the trend line. Okay. A close above the trend line may give me the best entry. And then a move from there to the next zone. I think that's, again, 800 pips or something like that. 700 and some pips up to right there. Okay. So that's what we're looking at, GN. For those of you who are looking at the swings long term, I would recommend not to take it yet because, again, even though it bounced from that zone, and it's a powerful zone, it bounced from that zone, it still yet has this resistance to climb above. Okay, so as soon as it climbs above that, then perhaps we can take it to the upside. All right, this is GBP Canada. GBP Canada, we've observed last week that it was ranging. This is still the setup from last week, and that it had a trend line. Well, last week it broke the trend line, and now it has retested the trend line and it rejected at it. All right, so it's below the 50 moving average on the weekly. It's below the trend line. This looks like sells. It looks like a retest here to come further down. All right, that's what GBP cat looks like. Retest already there, happened. Now I'm looking for another red candle. Oops, another red candle to form on this side to drop all the way down to bounce from there again. Okay, and lastly, not least in importance, is gold. This is the gold setup. This is again the weekly. We've been watching this for a long time. It's been on an uptrend, right? It bounced off the trend line and took off. And now we find a trap within these numbers. Again, this is the weekly, guys. So this is there are tons of pips here, right? If you want to go closer down to the daily to take a better look, you see that it tested the top of that, didn't break, tested the bottom over here, didn't break, and now it is ranging. This could actually be done a little tighter. Let me see, hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something for you right here on the fly. We're looking at another wedge. We're looking at a beautiful wedge here. Perhaps a bullish flag. All right, perhaps a bullish flag. It is above the 50 on the daily. Let me see where it's on the weekly. Oh, far away. That's the problem. It's very far away from the weekly, and they tend to seek each other. All right, price and the 50 moving average. So, but on the daily, it's right on it. So there may be a play here to the top. See it bounce from there. So if you're going to take a buy here, again, I will be taking profit as soon as it touched the line. Again, I think it is bullish. I mean, it is bullish. If the dollar continues to be devalued because of inflation, then gold will rise. Okay, so that's what we have. That's what I got for the week, guys. I hope that you found this helpful. If you find anything that could be added to the weekly recap, do not hesitate to let me know. I'll be glad to add it. Well, if it jails with everything else that I'm doing. All right, guys. God bless you.